Welcome to you all. This is Dr. Mohammad Aminul Islam. In this video, I would like to explain a model CV for MS, PhD, Postdoc scholarship or fellowship. This video is very important, so please do not skip. Let us start. The first portion of your CV should be name and current position, but photo is not needed. Nowadays, you do not need to include your photo on the CV. It is not recommended. So, at first, you can write your name. Then, if you have affiliation or current position, you can mention it here. And then you can mention your mobile number, email number, or any social profile, for example, YouTube or Facebook. This is the first portion of your CV. And then second portion is career profile or area of expertise. Here you can state your career profile or area of expertise. For example, highly motivated and result oriented in physical environmental chemistry with 14 years of hands on research experience in academia. And you can then mention your key strength, include this. And you can also include your expertise in instrument operation or experimental analysis or your strong knowledge. For example, I have mentioned here strong knowledge of empirical and surface complexation modeling for the adsorption process and performed research works in several state of the art laboratories with strict OAS rule. Then comes employment history. Then comes employment history. You can mention your current employment status. If you are employment, then you can state employment history and you can list your employment history. For example, I have listed here current position, then last position, and so on. Then what you have done in your employment. For example, duties and responsibilities: taught theoretical and laboratory classes in chemistry in English for undergraduate students of engineering disciplines. And similarly, you can mention other duties and responsibilities related to your expertise. Then you can mention the next employment status and so on. That means you can chronologically list your employment status, but keep the current one first. Then, number four is employment or voluntary history. Nowadays, people want to see what you have done as extracurriculum activities or voluntary activities. So you can mention your voluntary activities like this I have shown here. Then comes education and qualifications. You can mention your education. The recent should be the first. For example, I have mentioned here 2015 to 19 Doctor of Philosophy in Physical and Environmental Chemistry, and you can mention your research group or department. Then university, and it is also interesting to mention your thesis title, then your MS degree, then other degree, and put up to Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Engineering degree. Do not include SSC or HSC for MS, PhD, or postdoc application. Then comes professional membership. You can include a professional membership. For example, I have mentioned here Royal Australian Chemical Institute, RASI, MRASI in 2018, and then you can list other membership you belong to. And on every page footer, you can mention like this. For example, Dr. Muhammad Aminul Islam, January 2025, page 3 of 10. You can mention this in your footer of every page. Then comes publications. Papers published in international peer-reviewed journal. You can list your papers so far you have published, but keep the recent first. Then comes manuscript for publications in international journals. You can include your manuscript so that the professor can understand that although you have less publications, but you have several manuscript which can be published during your MS or PhD or postdoc tenure. So it is better to mention your manuscript in your CV. Then presentation at conference. This is very important for scholarship because professor wants to know whether you have previous experience of presenting your research at conferences. So if you have published any conference proceeding, you can mention here like this, and you can also list the presentations at conferences chronologically. Then professional awards or honors received. If you received any scholarship previously, then you can mention here. For example, I have mentioned postdoctoral fellowship or King Fahd University, and received highly competitive Lathrop University postgraduate research scholarship. You can mention here. Then comes professional development training. You can list the professional development training if you have done so. For example, I have mentioned here participated in certificate course on teaching for active learning foundation for learning, teaching and research, Green University, Bangladesh. And I have also listed some professional training. You can also do the same. Then comes English language proficiency. It is also important for many countries. You can include your English language proficiency here. For example, I have mentioned here IELTS score 6.5 and so on. Then comes referees. You can mention the name of the referees, of name, affiliation, and email address of your referees. Finally, at the last paragraph of your CV, you can include your name with this footnote. That's for today. If you have any query, please leave a comment in the description box. Thanks for watching. Please do visit Aminul Chem Innovation. Like, comment, share for new updates.